Hi class, it's Miss Laney. Today I want to show you how you can use Google Docs to make a poster or a diagram. Oftentimes in my class, I will ask my students to make a diagram of something or show the parts of something. So we're going to learn how to do that today using Google Docs. First, I'm going to share my screen, and I am on my Google homepage. Now what you want to do is you want to take your arrow and you want to go over to the waffle icon where the apps are, and then you want to click on the Google Docs app. This is something that requires a lot of patience, so just understand that going in. So for this poster, I want it to say parts of an apple. So I'm going to just type. All right, and because I want it to be a little more fancy, I'm going to actually highlight that and I'm going to change the color. If to do that, all you do is highlight it, go up to where the text color is, and then you're gonna choose your color. I want my title to be this kind of red color. It's almost maroon. Then what I want to do is, because it's going to be the title, I want to change the font size. So it's at 11 now. I think I want it to be 24. Then after I'm satisfied with the size of it, maybe I want it to be bold. Bold is good. And also you could choose to do this or not, but I like to underline mine. It makes it clear that it's the title. Then what I want to do is center it on my page. Now I have my title. Also, I forgot, the first thing that you do whenever you are making something, a new document, you want to make sure that you title it. Because I already titled it down here, when I click up here, it automatically titles it. Next, what I want to do is enter. And then I want to have pictures of the thing I'm trying to share. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my video down. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a picture. For this, I'm going to actually insert two pictures because I want to show the inside and outside of the apple. So I'm going to go to images and I want to try to find one from the computer. So hover over images and then move your mouse to the right and go down to the magnifying glass. Click that and this window will pop up on the side. I'm going to move my video over here so it's out of the way. Next, what I want to do is I want to type in the item that I'm looking for. So for this, I want a green apple. And remember, I want to show the inside and the outside of my apple. So this picture right here is good for the outside of the apple. I'm going to go ahead and insert that right now. And then I want to insert another picture because I think showing the inside of the apple will be a better way to label it. So I'm going to back to images, I'm going back to insert, coming down to images and then moving to the right over the magnifying glass to search again. Now this time I want a green apple that is sliced. And I'm going to enter. So here's a green apple that is sliced. Here there is a picture that has two. I didn't find that before, but this is a good image of an apple sliced in half. So I'm going to select that and insert it. Now these pictures are way too big for what I want. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of all of this extra space. To do that, I'm going to hover over the picture with my mouse and right click. Then I want to look at my options. My options aren't here. I didn't click the picture, that's why. Then I'm going to right click it and I'm going to look at my options. One of the options is to crop your image. Cropping your image makes your image the right size that you need it to be without having all of the extra space. So to do that, I'm going to click on the corner and push the corner in to the size of the picture that I want. Then when I let go, it will automatically size the picture. So I'm going to do that to the other side too. We're going to come down. To crop your pictures, you always want to click on the black arrows and not the blue ones. So when I'm satisfied with the way that I want my picture to look, I'm going to click completely outside of the entire picture, and then it will be the size that I want it to be. Because this picture is in the center, I want to be able to move it wherever I want to. So I'm going to click on the picture with a right click again. I'm going to hover over the picture, and down here you will see these little buttons. I want the center one. Now I can move my Apple picture wherever I want it to go. Then I'm going to go down to the next picture and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to click on it and then I am going to crop it. There's a little section up here as well. You can always use your toolbar up here. It often has some of the same options that you would find if you were to right click. So I'm going to crop my image. I'm going to pull those black arrows in. I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to click outside of the picture. Now my picture is exactly what I want. I'm going to then click on my picture so I can move it wherever I want. I want to hit wrap text. Now I can move this picture to wherever I want it to go. For this one, I want it to be right beside the other one. So there's my picture. Now I need to label the parts of an apple, but I have to think about where I want the labels to go. I know that I want to use arrows. You can use any other shape depending on what your project is. So I know that there are a few parts of the apple. We have the skin, we have the stem, we have the core, we have the seeds in the core, we have the flesh, and we have, sometimes they have leaves, but this one doesn't, so we won't do that. All right, so to address those areas, I'm going to make sure that I'm not clicked on a picture. So my cursor is up here. That's fine. It's not inside of the picture. You'll see why in a moment. So what we're going to do is so I want to insert, go down to drawings, new. And for my drawings, I want to insert a shape. Here's my shape. I want to do arrows because arrows will help me point to the area that I'm talking about. So I'm going to do a right arrow. For my right arrow, I'm just going to put my mouse down and I am going to draw my arrow. You can also change the color of your arrow, change the inside color, change the line color. You can make them transparent. So for this arrow, I'm going to actually make all of my arrows the same color. So for this arrow, I'm going to make it this kind of yellow color. To add text to the arrow, you have to click on this text box. And you have to click on your arrow. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. We're going to undo. You have to right click, edit text. That's how you do it. So for that, I'm going to write the stem, S-T-E-M. Now, if I want to change where that goes inside that arrow, maybe I want to center it. So I'm going to go over to these three dots over here, and I am going to go to align. I'm going to click align, and I'm going to center it. You can align it however you want, depending on what you want to do for your project. I'm also going to change the color of the text because maybe black is boring. So I'm going to change it to this maroon color. Now, it might be too small, so I'm going to bold it and I'm going to change the font size. So I'm going to make it 18. So that's big and easy for you to see. Once I'm finished, I'm going to save and close. And then I'm going to go to the regular page where I'm starting my poster. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the picture of the arrow. I'm going to wrap text. And what that allows me to do is that allows me to move the arrow so it can point to the area that I'm talking about. So there we go. And that's how you would do the stem. You would do these same steps for the other parts. And I will do one more part, but I'm not going to label the whole apple. This is just an example for you to see how to do it. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not clicked on a picture. That's very important. And I'm going to insert, and I want to add a drawing. So come down to drawing and then go to the right and add new. I know that I want to have an arrow, and I have already thought about the directions that I want the arrows to go. So the next arrow I want to be the skin. So this arrow is going to point to the left. I'm going to draw my arrow again. I'm going to change the color inside to that yellow. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to add edit text. Then I'm going to put the skin. Again, I want to change the color of the font. Oops, that's the arrow. I want to change the color of the font. So I'm going to click the three dots. What that does is it extends your bar so you can see all of the tools that you have. I want to make that to an 18 font. I want it to be bold, and I want the font to be the maroon color. I also want to make sure that I center it so it looks nicer for my presentation. So I center it, and if it's how I want it, I have to save it and close it. So now it'll appear at the bottom of your pictures. What I want to do is I want to change this down here to wrap text. And now I can move the arrow by clicking on it. I can move it to wherever I want it to go. And you would do the same thing to label the core, to label the flesh, and to label the seeds. I hope this is helpful to you.